I'm 100% sure that if he was placed in the same situation, he would say bye to his family and he would still go up north.
We still have 4 children. We have 3 with us, and we have 1 boy who's up.
She's my hero. Really, I miss her. I went from having dreams and hopes to everything just turned black in a second.
Okay. Can you tell us about your loved one and what happened on the day that you lost them?
It's always hard to talk about him because I always feel like if I'll say something, I'll put him down. He was my loved one. He was the one that I saw my life with, wanted to have a family together, get married, have kids.
I lost a close friend of mine. His name is Omer. We grew up together.
Nathan was incredibly sociable. He loved being out of the house. He loved being with people.
He was in 4 youth groups for kids with special needs.
I remember at the beginning of the war, when he was there for that first weekend, they needed, I believe it was 3 or 4 people to do a mission on the border of Lebanon. And he was the first one, obviously, to volunteer to do the mission. And there was an anti-tank missile that saw them, and he was killed on the spot.
And then I went from having dreams and hopes to everything just turned black in a second. Osha Barzilai, she was a soldier in the operating room in the Nahal Oz base. She was a brilliant soldier. On the day the war started, she fought till the last minute. She made sure that everybody are okay.
It was a Sunday. I don't teach on a Sunday. I came down and suddenly 2 army soldiers come in. And then she went to my daughter behind me because my daughter lost her boyfriend on the 7th. And she screamed, and I still had no idea what was going on. She screamed, "Not again, not again."
He was supposed to go in for the last time. And then I got a call from him that morning. He tells me, okay, I have good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first? I was like, okay, let's start with the bad news. The bad news is that I'm going into Lebanon. It's scary. It's knowing like he's risking his life for me and for the rest of our country, and it could be he's not coming back. Okay, so what's the good news? And he was like, the good news is I'm going into Lebanon. I was like, what? What do you even mean? Like, you just said that's the bad news. And he was like, no, for you, that's the bad news. But for me, it's the good news.
It was like a sledgehammer, because suddenly I realized, there and then, I understood something terrible had happened.
The day we were told that she passed away, sadly, was absolutely heartbreaking for all of us.
Once I found out in that moment that it was really true, it kind of, like it tore me apart in a way that I've never been torn apart before. And yeah, so that first day was probably one of the hardest days of my life, if not the hardest day of my life.
I started getting a really bad feeling. Something is just wrong. And then there's a siren in the background, and he says, I'll call you right back. And the phone hangs up. Same second I write him a message, just take care of yourself.
I vividly remember going to a Shabbaton with my whole grade, and it was like a weekend retreat with everyone in my class. We were like hugging each other, and I was like jumping into his arms, and I had literally met him 2 months prior. And it was kind of love at first sight, if you will.
Only after his death did we find out, when hundreds of his friends from all different places told us story after story after story who he actually was and the kind acts he had done to them in the darkest hours that they had. He was an amazing person, amazing boy.
And I send him a message, hey, like, what's going on? I call him, and I call him, and I call him, and he's not coming back like he said he will.
What's the last thing you said to them? Would you have wanted to say something else? So, the last time I saw my boy, I took him to the train station, And as normal, he got out, I got out. I gave him a big hug. And as always, I just said to him, please, Nathan, look after yourself. Come home, yeah?
I don't remember what's the last thing I said on the phone call. I remember what he said. He said, I'm coming right back to you. I just remember the phone hung up, and then I just wrote him a message, which I don't know if he saw. I love you. Just please call me back.
I remember seeing him anxious, pretty much for the first time I'd ever seen in my life. And I remember hugging him goodbye. I kind of sensed that there was something off in that moment.
2 weeks before the war started, it was Yom Kippur. I met her. We were talking about the army. She told me she wanted to be an officer, that it was her dream.
And then on Fridays, my wife said, we saw him, sent us a WhatsApp from where he was in Gaza. And he was so happy. They'd been given so much food for Shabbat, and he was overjoyed, him and his friends, and I was so happy for him. We were so happy for him.
I miss her. Like, looking back, if I would have seen her one more time, I would tell her thank you.
Would have I said something else? I wish I just had another second to tell him that I love him and that I'm proud of him.
It probably would have been, I love you, and I'm proud of you, and you're one of the strongest people that I know.
And that's literally the last time we spoke to my beautiful boy, but we left him when he was happy, and he was always happy.
If someone who never knew your loved one asked you what kind of person she was, what's the story you'd tell?
Okay, I have a great story. It was 4 days before Ariel fell. So I went to the movie theater with my friends. My friends asked me, sit here, don't sit in the middle. And I was like, why? I want to sit in the middle. And they're like, no, you sit there. I was like, okay.
So, I remember when I was in 11th grade, and me and Omer happened to be one of the people who were asked to go to prom. But Omer was one of those people who he went with a new girl at the school. She had just come in 12th grade.
When we were seniors in high school, Osher and I were in charge of the entire program production for the entire school, which is a very big deal for us. Like, at first I was very stressed. She was like, we got this, we're gonna be so great, it's gonna be amazing.
And she didn't know many people. And Omer happily went with this girl to prom. He did a whole promposal. He danced with her. He just did what he felt was right.
Nathan walked into a room, and the room lit up. When anybody got to know Nathan, they felt that they were the most special friend that Nathan had.
And then 10 minutes into the movie starts, the whole audience is quiet and listening to the movie. I see a soldier with army pants, uniform, a pink bright sweatshirt, a gun, and a huge thing of popcorn. And he just starts saying, has someone seen my girlfriend? I left out Lebanon right now. Has someone seen my girlfriend? I'm like, Ariel, and it was him. It's like, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Lebanon. Like, hello. And I was like, what are you doing here? He was like, no, I wanted to surprise you. Just going to the room and all the attention up him, and totally just everyone falls into his magic.
He sat with people, he took the time to be with people, he listened to people, and he truly, truly enjoyed himself.
He lived each day as if it was the last day.
I knew that I would look to my right, I would see Oshel there cheering on me. She would say, you're so great, you're doing your best. I think that's the moment I realized how great of a person she is, and like how great of a person she will always be looking back at it.
If they could see you now, what do you think they would say to you? He would definitely be saying to me, like, what are you doing, Mum? Seriously? I don't know. I think he'd be happy.
She'd probably say, like, you're doing great and like good job and I'm proud of you.
For a while, I deleted my Instagram account. And then one time I went to look to check in something. My friend got engaged. I wanted to figure it out. So I went into the Instagram. And then I saw I have over 300 reels and posts that Ariel sent me. And he knows I don't have Instagram. And all these posts were like these like cute things like, I love you forever, like I don't want you to leave me, like all these like really kitschy like couple like things. And then after Ariel fell, I opened my Instagram and I see I have another 100 reels from him. So I decided that every single day I'll open a different one.
So once I drafted, and it happened to be that I was in the same battalion that he was in, and even more than that, I am in the same unit of 11 people with his younger brother, who now feels like a younger brother to me.
He's definitely happy where he is, with other people enjoying themselves. And he's looking down. Someone said to me that when Nutton was alive, it was just Nutton. He was just one person. But now he's in so many people's minds, so many people's hearts.
And then there was one day that I did this big project for Ariel. I gave out a lot of flowers to 500 soldiers in his memory, like he used to give me flowers every week. And then by the end of it, I was done. I was exhausted and I went to this breakdown. And then I opened my Instagram and I go into my reels of the day. And then the one I opened that day was just this post saying, just wanted to let you know, I am so proud of you. And that really felt like Ariel saying something to me.
I think that if he saw me now, he would be unbelievably proud, but I think more than that, he would want me to protect his younger brother and have his back in the same way that he knows that he would have my back. In a weird way, kind of be that older brother for him that Omer can't be anymore. I think that he would also be happy to know that I plan on becoming a commander. I was asked to become a commander and take after him in the same way that he was also a commander. And I think that he would just be really proud of me.
Oh, the last one. In the midst of loss, what gives you strength to keep going?
It's a hard question to answer because we're still in this war 2 years later, and we still have hostages in Gaza, and the job is still not finished.
I think that's the fact that we still have 3 other children at home. We've decided that there needs to be good to come out of this tragedy. We can only keep going forward, one foot in front of the other, and keep thinking about all the good things that we do, all the miracles that happened after his death.
I think this is one of the questions that will continue with me every day I'm still here in this world. And I think right now it's 3 main things. The first one is me saying to myself that it couldn't be that Ariel is not here for nothing. I need to make sure that this world becomes a better place for him.
I think that like looking back on her last moments, she was going through so much herself, so much stress, and it was scary. I can't imagine what she was experiencing. The fact that she kept going and she didn't give up, no matter like what happened there, like the terrorist. I'm sure it was so scary hearing everything from outside and still managing to focus and like save our country as best as she could.
In Ariel's funeral, I wasn't able to write a eulogy, so I decided to have a love letter. But in the love letter, I made 3 promises. That the whole world will continue to know who Ariel was. Everything Ariel said he'll do and wasn't able to do, I'll do for him. And the last one was that Ariel's light is not going to stop with him.
To break down is not an option, but to do good, to move from darkness into light, is an absolute.
I think it's important to understand that when you're living in Israel, every single person either knows someone personally who was killed, or knows someone who knows someone personally who was killed. There's not so many degrees of separation between all the people in this country. And I think it's important to remember on a day-to-day basis, and you haven't seen home or your friends or your family in 28 days or whatever it is, that you have the bigger picture in mind, and you understand that you're a very small piece of a very big puzzle.
And this way that she didn't give up until her last moment, that's what makes me keep going.
We still have 4 children. We have 3 with us, and we have 1 boy who's up above us as a neshama, as a soul, but he's there.
I'm 100% sure that if he was placed in the same situation, he would say bye to his family and he would still go up north to do what he had to do, because that's what it takes to keep the people you love safe. And I'm doing it, like, a big part of the reason I'm doing this is for him. So, yeah. Love you, dude.